What is up, my name is Richie, and today I show you the one thing that is very important if you want to create custom builds in Fortnite Creative, or basically in anything that is creative in general. I'm using this house, which I just built for this video, to explain you a bunch of the stuff that I'm showing here. Also, let me know if you want to see a speed build of that house. I was not sure if I should include that, but if you want to see a separate video or something, then definitely let me know. Also, the question of the day is, you know that we have season 4 coming up, and you know that creative is always a different topic when it comes to new content. So let me know what you wish to see in Fortnite Creative. I really hope that we get all the Marvel stuff, like the guns and all that kind of stuff that we had with the end game events or whatever. I don't think so we will get them, but obviously let me know what you wish what we are getting. And without further ado, let's go right into the video. Alright, so what is the key aspect of building creative, building custom, or just building unique in general? It is to not use symmetry as much as you think. It is actually using the exact opposite and knowing what style you're going for. So obviously we are going for a medieval style this year. And we can just take a look at the bottom floor layout here. And we can see that this is the bottom floor layout. It looks quite unique. Obviously you can see it has angled walls. It has different size of walls. It is obviously quite different from something that we would see in Fortnite, right? So we are not used to seeing this in Fortnite. So this would be a perfect example of something we see in Fortnite, and it is just, everything built in grid snap, very easy to do. Still has a unique pattern because it's not just a cube, for example, like this one. So this one is just you could say this is like the beginner version of this, and then this is the beginner version of this one. So it has no edges. It is just a flat cube. Yes, we have some doors in it, but that's all there is to it. And then if we go over to this one, someone would probably already say like, yeah, this is a little bit more advanced. It looks a little better. Well, these are still two cubes, which are perfectly fitting into each other. So if I put just these walls here, you can see these are still like two cubes, which are just put to each other. It still looks a lot better, but it still looks too Fortnite-ish, right? It still looks like this could be a prefab in Fortnite. So if you then go over to this one right here, you would say, yeah, someone put really time into this. There's no like defined cube. If I put a wall here and just place it on the grid snap, you would see that there's like not really like a defined line in this house. There's like no cubes that are connected to each other. Everything is different and unique from each other. Obviously, this is a lot harder to build. Oh, wait, I just deleted something that I shouldn't delete. Well, this is obviously a lot harder to build. It almost immediately gives you that effect of someone knows what they're doing and someone has already something in mind what is going to happen after that, which is great. One tip that I can give to you guys, depending on the style that you're going for, obviously we are creating like medieval style, type of style here. Don't be afraid of stretching and squishing textures. So, you know that if you take a wall out, for example, this one, right? You can see it looks okay, right? The texture is supposed to be like this, but if you stretch it in, it looks kind of odd, right? So let's scale it up a little bit and then just squish it like this. So you can see that the stones are all like, the textures are all squished in. The good thing about the medieval style here is that it doesn't look too bad actually. You can see here that this wall is squished in, and well, if you go very close to it, you can see obviously that it's squished in. But if you go on like a normal distance, you would almost not recognize it at all. So it fits really nice into the whole thing, and that obviously depends on the style that you're going for. Like obviously if you go with something very modern, this could look quite awful. So you have to always take care of, this is like no principle for any type of style that you want to build. But for example, for like medieval type of style, you can go like very off, because obviously in medieval times they didn't had like perfect measurements, and they all didn't had like perfect stones, and each stone was the same, like it would be in a modern world. So for example, if you take just two walls here, so obviously what I mean with that is by modern walls obviously have like almost symmetrical stones to it. They all look the same. Yeah, they're different in size, but if you look at this wall, all of these stones have like super different patterns. Some of them have more angles than others, and they all look very different from each other. Well, on this wall, they look all kind of the same. If we start going here and start squeezing this, like this, for example, you could immediately tell the difference where squish the wall, right? So while if I do this on this one, as you can see here, it doesn't look too much off, right? So you always have to keep in mind what style are you going for. While I don't want to say that this is completely impossible to pull off in modern buildings, it is still something that you have to take care of. So the next thing which is important to creating unique and custom styles is not using the same shape or the same texture over and over again. So you can see here, this is a custom made wooden wall, and all I did here is copy and paste them next to each other. You could say, yeah, I made a custom wall right here, but it still looks very odd, because the reason for that is obviously all the textures look the same. Well, we only have this one pillar here of wood, and if you place them next to each other, it will obviously all have the same texture. So this obviously does not count for all things in Fortnite Creative. For example, the most of the terrain pieces have a different texturing style. So if I just copy and paste this over here a bunch of times, so like this, you can see they still have different textures, right? So none of them looks the same, right? So you can almost see no edges here. And it has a very different texturing style that is most likely used in all of the terrain pieces. And that's the reason why you could also put them into each other and it wouldn't matter too much. It would still look perfect. If I put two of these into each other, they will start like flickering. You can see like this. And it would look awful. But we're obviously creating a wooden wall here, so the texture matters quite a bit. And how you can fix this problem is by just turning and rotating them quite a bit. So this is still the same 6 pieces, or however pieces, it's not 6 only. The only difference is that I went into here and just went into the rotation mode and just rotated a few of them like this, right? So obviously make sure they rotate in different areas like this, for example. And then you can already see that this gives a lot better look, because there's not all the same textures on the wood, because obviously wood doesn't have the same textures if you place it next to each other normally. You would obviously use different pieces of woods, and wood never looks the same. So it looks obviously quite odd if you use the same texture for each one. So make sure you turn them. This goes by the way for everything in Fortnite Creative, like for example trees. So you can see that if I place the trees all next to each other like this will look obviously quite awful, because they all kind of point in the same direction. And it doesn't look really good. It doesn't look like nature it would be. Like, what you can do here is just rotate a few of them, like in whatever direction you want and how long you want to rotate them, whatever. And it already looks a lot better. Obviously, you have to space them out a little bit, make one of them like a little bit lower, one of them a little bit higher, something like this. Place them like here or whatever. And this obviously looks like a lot better. It doesn't look like all the same, all too symmetrical or whatever. But you get the point, and you obviously have to do the same thing with stuff like this. You can even go a step further, as you can see here. I just put them up quite a bit, like something like this. Give them a little like cracks or whatever. So you can see here, if I go over to my house here, which I use this technique on the roof, you can see here that some of these has like little cracks inside, where I just kind of rotated them a little bit, so they have like little corners here. And obviously all of them have different textures. Which then makes the roof look a lot better and a lot more unique. So one last thing which I want to really touch on, that if you start creating unique and custom stuff, it can quite easily happen that you forget the measurements of the Fortnite characters. So always keep in mind that you have to still make it, unless you are going for like a giant thing, right, where you want to have the feeling of that the Fortnite character is too small. You still want to go for a realistic look. So if someone is playing on the map where you have this building in, and then it looks completely off, like for example I couldn't fit to the door or whatever, that wouldn't be something that you want to do, right? So keep that in mind, that you still have to keep an eye on the sizes of the character. So, and that is it for today. Let me know if you like this style more of explaining things, or if you want to have like this typical speed build. I explain you how to build everything step by step. Let me know in the comments if you like that more or the other one. And obviously do the usual YouTube stuff. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys hopefully back in my next video. Bye.